We need to talk about Johnny Walker. A video went viral recently, an older video from about 7 years ago of Johnny Walker being knocked out in sparring by a 19-year-old amateur boxer, and I've been having some thoughts on this. Is Johnny Walker damaged goods? Even before he came to the UFC, everyone knows about his KOs on the regional scene. One where he got knocked out about 3 or 4 times with a very terrible referee stoppage. So there's actually 2 though. One to Henrique Silva and another to Wagner Prado. Now Henrique Silva wasn't beaten with all his wins by KO in the first round, but he lost the fight and seemingly retired and made a comeback in 2019. That's when Johnny Walker versus John Jones was getting talked about. So he probably thought, hey, I'm better than I thought I was. But he lost that fight, so now he's probably retired because he hasn't fought again. Not a bad guy to lose to. But then Wagner Prado, he is a veteran. He was in the UFC in 2012. He fought Phil Davis in the UFC. He also got KO'd in the first round by Magomed Ankalaev. So that's a funny connection. We could give Johnny a little leeway that he was young and inexperienced. But Brazilians spar insanely hard. It's a fight in the gym. They go for the KO. This can make very tough fighters, but it kills careers. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of focus on defense typically. We can garner it from this video. The guy Walker was sparring was 19, but that's an experienced amateur boxer versus a young MMA fighter. In the full video, the boy was bombing on Walker, who was trying to play technical, and then Walker lost his temper, started swinging haymakers. Then Walker got KO'd. The coach of the kid shouted, "God is the greatest." This is the type of training that will make you damaged goods over time. In a situation like this, Walker's coach should have assessed the situation, phone out a way more experienced boxer who was hunting for the KO, then pulled Walker out. I think Walker's current coach, John Kavanagh, wouldn't have allowed this personally. We just need to wonder, how many silly gym fights did Walker have throughout his career? He's a wild guy to say the least. Now it can be quite weird in MMA. Alistair Overeem got KO'd 20 times or something crazy like that throughout his career and performed at a high level even into old age. There are arguments that being knocked out cold is better for you than being hit with big shots over and over for 3 rounds or 5 rounds, or even getting dropped with a concussion and continue fighting on. So a guy like Frankie Edgar or Darren Elkins could suffer more than Walker in health. Could Walker go up to heavyweight where he's not fighting more athletic and faster light heavyweights? I think that's the move. Heavyweights will have more power, but Walker is going to be levels above most in athleticism. Of course, he'd probably lose if he went against the Sergey Pavloviches and Cyril Gaines of the world. But against the lower level guys, I think it would be better for his health, having guys who will have just a bit more trouble hitting him on the chin. He also has an insanely heavy weight cut. He's doing one of the biggest weight cuts in the UFC. He is a natural heavyweight. Now we don't know for sure how much weight cutting impacts your punch resistance, but we have seen guys with shaky chins like Dustin Poirier suddenly be able to take a big shot when he moved to lightweight. Now heavyweight should be his last shot at revitalizing his career. He lives in Ireland now with a stunning wife. I think he has kids on the way. He should worry about his long-term health if he keeps getting knocked out left and right against less talented, less athletic heavyweights. No point having money if you can't enjoy it, really. He can transition into coaching. Everybody wants to learn from a UFC fighter. I mean, you're practically a magician to the regular folk. Anyway, these are my thoughts on the sparring footage. Please feel free to let me know what you think in the comments. Talk amongst yourselves. Love reading the conversations that crop up in the comment section. Subscribe and like if you want. I'm out.